After that, the doctor calmly walked back inside, at which point everyone else in the group followed along. As we re-entered the house, I noticed the smattering of very concerned and confused faces. It was as if nobody really knew what to do with the situation. It seemed like one startling revelation after the next, with everything seeming to just get more insane by the second. As we made our way back into the living room and found, I guess, my future version's daughter still there waiting. So, Doctor, are you happy with your payment? Yes, it is satisfactory for the time being. I'll have to make wise use of it, seeing as I'm not going to be getting any more. What about you? Your dear father is dead, and here you are still faithfully doing his bidding. How long is that going to hold out? What happens when this new iteration opens the gates of time? Well, as is with time travel, multiple versions of the same universe cannot continue to coincide and exist within the same limited space. The multiverse is able to exist because there is something different on a fundamental level about every single multiple universe. A particle that exists there that exists nowhere else, in no other universe. This is how they keep the parallel universes from merging, by making them so different on a fundamental level that they simply are incompatible. But within one's own universe, branching timelines are inevitably ended. Just as the timeline that myself and my father originally came from no longer exists, so too, once this iteration of Gabrial Moon opens the gates and travels through time, will the universe that he leaves behind eventually fade away? Or more aptly, should I say, that it will fade into the present universe. It will exist for a time period after the initial journey back. It does take some time for the energies of this parallel universe to reabsorb within the new timeline and set of events. This is of course a painless process. It's not perceivable by anyone. In the alternate timeline that fades away, its energies being reabsorbed by the dominant timeline, and even this is imperceptible to the people within it, at least to most. Those that do experience any change or difference experience it only as a feeling that is described as déjà vu or strange dreams. The reality that faded away doesn't fade away into nothing, just like whenever someone makes a choice, for instance, to go right or left. A branching timeline is created for these two events, but eventually one holds as the dominant course of events that is locked into the primary stream of time. These alternate universes, parallel courses of events, are reabsorbed by our own universe. When this happens, people get the feeling of déjà vu, swearing you saw a black cat cross your path twice, feeling as if you've been in a situation before, despite knowing that you've never been there, having a strange dream where things are different from how they actually are, dreaming of a day that you had in which you turned left instead of right, and the course of events changed. Everyone always simply writes these off as strange occurrences and aberrant feelings. They are, however, simply a product of the absorption of alternate timelines within our own stable universe. If I do not choose to, or am not allowed to travel along with this new iteration, and I remain within this universe, this branching stream of time, then, like everything that remains within it, I will be dispersed, reabsorbed as energy into the new stream of time. But there will be some time before that occurs, in which I am free to do what I please. But I suppose I am becoming sidetracked, she said, once more turning around to look at the scorched area of the floor. My work is not yet done. I need to leave, so that when all things that are said and done, I can return and ferry forward the next sequence of events. At this point, my intrusion would only add higher risk to our end goals. It was lovely seeing you all, and I sincerely hope that when all is said and done, I will see you all again. I wish nothing for all of you but the best of health, long life, and, of course, happiness. But for the moment being, I must bid you adieu, she said, as she turned and began to walk towards the exit. You take care of yourself, Titan. And don't worry. I'm sure the new iteration is just as sappy as the old one. He won't leave you behind when it comes to the end, even if you aren't his version, the doctor said, tilting his hat a bit as he looked over towards the woman, and my eyes widened a bit. Titan? She's the other iteration's version of Titan? I thought, as she continued to walk, only slowing for a few moments, making her way out of the door without any more hesitation. Okay, kid. I know this has been a whirly-bird of a fucking day, but we're still left with the situation of how exactly do we deal with all of this? This is your game. So, how exactly are we gonna play it? I looked over to all of my family and friends. And the doctor, sitting there playing with a red bolt of lightning, just a surge of red electricity bouncing between his fingers, smiling gleefully at it. He seemed to be the only one who was perfectly fine. He couldn't care less that that previous version of me got the big ending, you might call it. But the concern on the rest of my friends' and family's faces wasn't something that I could ignore. Look, I know that everyone is really freaked out right now. Hell, I am really freaked out right now. To be honest, I have no freaking idea what to do. But as unfortunate as it is, I'm going to have to agree with the doctor on this one. We all just got a major pay upgrade. Whether we feel like this is above our pay grade or not doesn't matter. We're in it. We don't know what's coming down the line, what dangers we might have to deal with. But that doesn't mean we really have to change our course of action. To be truthful, we were already preparing for war. Just because they changed the enemies doesn't mean that the efforts we've made up to this point have been in vain. We continue doing what we've already been doing. The factory we're setting up should be the perfect place to armor and outfit this. The assassin seems to primarily be interested in me. So, whenever they show up, I'm the one who's gonna have to worry about it. The only one who I think is still going to be a problem for everyone else is Alexander, and whatever he's cooking up. And then there's the dear doctor's sweet little girl, a psychopath creating an army of monsters with ambitions of forced human evolution. A city of monsters. I believe someone who escaped from them said, right before they blew his head off. So, we prepare. First things first, I'm gonna need a new motorcycle. What? No! Titan exclaimed. You can't just replace me. We're partners. Relax, Titan. I'm not replacing you. But you don't have wheels anymore, or blades, or explodey bits. All things I'm probably gonna need in a fight. I won't be outfitting this new motorcycle with any sort of artificial intelligence, but I am going to need one. At least I think. To be honest, I'm not sure what my new abilities are gonna be. But seeing as they were an alternate version of me from the future or past's life's work, I assume it's gonna be fairly impressive. I'll have to learn what I can. You guys should do the same, I said, gesturing to Emily and Titan. Once we have a good idea of our abilities, we can start to outfit ourselves appropriately. Find weaponry and armaments that either cover for our weaknesses or work with our natural abilities. But then again, I'm not sure you could call them natural. We just got some major stuff dropped on our plates. So, rather than trying to slow game this, we're going to have to move quickly, accelerate things. Dad, I'm going to need you to start pressing that factory. I need it operational as soon as possible. And I'm going to need you to have some people on standby in order to do some quick manufacturing work. I have no idea what sort of gear we're going to need, so try to get an assortment of individuals with different specialties. To be honest, this kind of feels like old times. At this point, I'm fairly used to the world seeming like it wants to screw me over. I almost feel right at home in it. But trust me, if I've learned anything, it's that perseverance can be a powerful asset. Don't give in to fear. Don't resign yourself to doubt. If you believe the task is impossible, then it is. And in that belief, you've defeated yourself. So, let's not self-doubt. If this is a war or a game, we're going to win it, I said, looking out at everyone else, as I suppose I must have given a fairly good speech, as their looks of concern and worry faded away, and it appeared that they looked more determined, steadfast, many of them nodding in agreement. And just like that, the game was set.